everyone, it's Charlotte, and I just wanted to pop in here. This is not like a usual weekly budget update, partly because when I was filming the weekly update a week ago, for some reason it didn't collect my audio when I was talking through it. So I went ahead and ended up doing a voiceover for the video, and I sped it up a little bit, but I'm going to talk about some things that have happened during this first week in July. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. It's charged into whatever to power up, it's plugged into the power outlet to charge up, but it cut me off the last time trying to record this, and previously I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So basically what happened when I started filming the weekly budget update for this past week, for the first week in July, I filmed it, but there was no audio when I went to edit it. So I'm going to go ahead and in the video do a voiceover, and hopefully it works. It's my first time really doing a voiceover, so and the editing was not the best because there was no sound to go with the video, so I'm just kind of editing through things, and I sped it up a little bit to get through everything. But I want to do a little precursor to everything to say that this is the weekly budget update for the first week in July, for July 1st through the 7th, and I'm looking down at my planner down here so that I get the dates right. And I just want to go through and say that I had one setback this week, and it was ended up being that I had to go to get a new battery for my car. So, yay, exciting. Walked out one morning to go to work on Friday the 7th, and my car did not start. So I ended up having to get a new battery for the car, and of course I took it to the dealership, and the dealership prices and everything, it was just under a $300 battery once you added in all the diagnostic fees and dealership fees and things like that. I just knew I needed the car, and when all the alarms and things started going off in the car, I didn't know what to do with it. So I took it to the dealership to let them look at it. So that was a bad thing for me. And then I also, it's not going to be in the budget, but I ended up deciding to transfer $200 from my savings, my emergency fund, into my checking, just to be a buffer for the first weeks in July until I got paid on the 13th, just to make sure that I had enough money for all the bills and everything coming out, especially since I ended up having to go get the battery for my car. I also transferred the amount for the battery from my savings to my checking, so that I ended up putting the charge from the dealership onto my credit card, so I had to move the money into my checking account so that I could pay the credit card, and that should already be going through today or yesterday, and I'm filming this part of the video on the 15th, so I did all the transfers and everything on the 14th. So from now on, I'm going to have to start replenishing my emergency fund, because I am currently at $500 in my emergency fund, and I really did not want to touch it, but I have. And I am hoping at the end of the month that I will be able to go ahead and transfer the $200 that I transferred from the savings to be a buffer for this month. I'm hoping to transfer it back. But because of all of this, I will not be able to put any extra money towards debt unless I get any extra funds from places. So I am looking for more money and everything. So, and I apologize, like, I'm looking down at this just to make sure I'm getting everything correct. And some other things that that happened since I did my monthly budget. On the 2nd, I went ahead and looked at my student loans to get the final amount before all the interest rates and everything, or the final interest rates before that, since I got paid on the 2nd. So my current student loans are at $39,658.70 for the month of July. And that gets me to a total debt of $56,966.08. So from October, I have paid off, or not paid off, but in October I was at $62,072.75. Since then, I have paid $5,101, or no, 5,100. It's just over $5,100 towards debt since October 2016. So that's, you'll see later where I do a charge to Starbucks for $5. That was my reward to myself for hitting that milestone of paying $5,000. So the next one will be when I paid off $10,000, and I have yet to decide on that because it's going to take me some time to get there, but I will get there eventually, but it probably won't be until the end of this year, beginning of next year, that I get to that point, because now I'm having to pay some money towards my savings, or put money back into my savings account. And let me readjust a little bit. And also, because I've been so paranoid with my money right now with having the car problems and everything, I came in this past week after work and everything and sat down for 4 hours, and went through and did penciled sheets of paper on doing a bi-weekly budget. So instead of just doing a monthly budget, because now with me getting paid at the paycheck that I get at the end of the month is going towards the next month, and I'm really having to look at how I'm spending things, because I did overspend at some point, and I really think it was when I went on vacation and I kind of had all this money from tax returns and things like that, and I kind of went a little crazy. So now I'm trying to just recover, and that's unfortunate that I'm recovering from this, but I've gone through and I'm basically stating how much I have that can move over, and I can never really have a zero-based budget, because part of the money that I have at the end of a paycheck has to go to the next paycheck in order to cover the bills that occur the next 2 weeks after that paycheck. So it's really difficult for me to have a zero-based budget. I have to make sure that I allocate money from each paycheck to go to the next one to cover all the costs. And so I'm really going to start being strict on everything. I am going to try to put as much money into sinking funds, because I don't want to get all of that, get hit with all of those all at the same time next year and everything. So it's like my Amazon Prime and car insurance, car registration, and all of that stuff, because it seems that $100 is not that much, but it really is. Especially when you're not used to budgeting an extra $100, when you actually have to use that $100 to go to the next paycheck, bills for the next pay. So before I make this thing extremely too long, I am looking over here to see there are some other things that happened. In my sinking funds, I said that I was putting $104 towards my car insurance, but I am not. I am transferring over $1,011.03 to cover the total amount that's due on the 28th of July. Because I renegotiated my car insurance. My car insurance is no longer due on the 17th. It's due on the 28th of the month, or every 6 months. So on 7/28 and now January 28th. So, but that will eventually get put back to where it will be $104 every single month going in there. That way I'll have enough for the 621. I basically rounded that 621.41 up to 622. So, and I am not putting anything into trash that I know of yet. I need to double check all of that, because I already had the $55.78 in the sinking fund for trash. And for my summer bills, I am actually having to take $19.19 out of my summer bills sinking fund account in order to cover the extra electric bill. Yeah, the electric bill was $124. So whatever I didn't have budgeted in the electricity, water, and gas budget, so the 125 and 100, I needed an extra $19.19 to cover what essentially is the extra on the electric bill. So that has all been done, and I will keep doing weekly updates. So hopefully this video will be fairly short, but I just wanted to give a little update of what's going on and to let you guys see my lovely face that really, I've been sitting here editing videos for quite a while. So it is, and it's been thunderstorming and everything out here. So I am kind of tired and I need to get to working on cleaning my house before my sister gets here on Monday. So I will check back with you guys next week on how I am doing so far for this week. So thank you, everybody. Okay, let's get started with the transactions. And down here, my first one is Target, and it is going to be split between pet care and groceries. I'm sorry, not pet care and groceries. Groceries and personal care. Good Lord. Okay, groceries was at $5.40 and personal care was at $8.53. Okay, the next thing, I needed an oil change, so I went to the dealership to get the oil changed. And I'm going to go ahead and put that under oil and gas, and I'm over budget in that account, but we'll go back and reconcile later. The next thing, I went to Dollar Tree and picked up 4th of July decorations to decorate our cars for the parade for the 4th of July, and that's going under CAD because it was for the political organization I am a member of. Next is Walmart, and that should be split as well between pets and groceries. And pet care is $49.49, and that I'm over budget in as well, but I will reconcile later. And then the remaining $15.96 goes to groceries. Next, I paid my student loans on the 2nd. So one debt is paid for so far this month. And the next thing, I went to Sonic on Sunday the 2nd because I went out and mowed the yard and I washed my car and did all of that stuff to get ready before the 4th of July, and I was tired and exhausted and felt I needed to have Sonic and a milkshake. So yeah, probably shouldn't have, but I did. Next, I went to Walmart and spent some more money on CAD for the 4th of July festivities. So that was $15.54, and the remaining, what is it, $5 or something like that? $5.37 for groceries. And then I paid my trash, but it came out of my sinking fund, so we are good to go on that one. Next, I had another charge at Walmart on the 6th, and that was all for groceries. Okay, and as I mentioned, I had a setback and had to get my battery replaced in my car. So it ended up being $294.59, and I had to pull that out of my emergency fund. So I'm going to have to work on replenishing that emergency fund for the rest of the year. And at some point, I will move over there. I don't know exactly what I was talking about during this time. Probably vending, because it was the day after I went and, when I filmed this, it was the day after I went and had all that done. So I was a little bit more upset that day than I am now, since it's been a week. So here I am pulling it from my emergency fund. Next, my rent was paid and my cell phone was paid. And then the next one was a Walmart trip to CAD for our Independence Day, not parade, but party. And then I'm leaving that extra Walmart charge in there because it was for the 10th and not during this time frame. So now I'm going through and going to reconcile everything that I have overspent in. And like I said, in oil and gas, I overspent. So I'm going to pull up a calculator, or maybe not. I'm just going to, yep, I pull it up. Okay, pull up the calculator, and I'm adding $70 for gas and $87.42 for the oil change. So a total of $157.42 with the remaining $70 left for gas for this month. And then the next thing I need to reconcile down here is my pet care, and I'm going to have to up that budget to $50 now, so I'm covering everything. And we're going to reconcile CAD because I did not plan to spend anything in there, but hopefully some of that money I will be able to get reimbursed for by the club, so maybe I'll have some income coming in for that. And I'm going through my sinking funds right now and seeing what I need to do. I am going to go ahead and decrease my expected $150 to Visa to only be $87 because I do need to start paying back into the emergency fund, so I will not be able to put any extra money towards debt right now. And I just remembered that on the 1st I went to Plato's Closet. Oh, no. Next charge will be for Plato's Closet. I went to Starbucks. This was the reward for paying $5,000 towards my debt since October 2016. So instead of going to Marble Slab, I went to Starbucks and rewarded myself before the 4th of July parade. And I put down $5, but it was $5.07, $5.17, or something like that. Now I'm doing the income from Plato's Closet. I sold back 3 items to them, 3 clothing items. And so I'm putting that under additional income and reconciling that to show that I have an extra $525 coming in from income. I think here I was explaining what Plato's Closet is, and it's just a Houston store that buys used clothing for teenagers. So now I'm left with a remaining $25.04 for the rest of the month. Thank you, and check back next week.